welcome back to Gail's Journey, and I appreciate you staying tuned in. And if you'll please have people subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also if you have any emails, gailsjourney101@gmail.com. So please share this with whoever you like. So I told you the next portion was us trying to get pregnant, and the first thing we did was you just tried natural for a couple of years. Then the next we tried to chart it. We had a graph, and I had my thermometer. And then we did that for 6 months to a year. And then the next phase was they told me I needed to, this was starting the third year, that I needed to come in, go see a fertility specialist. So I went to see the fertility specialist, and they told me that now they were going to try hormone shots. I was like, oh man, and they said the needles are pretty big too. I was like, oh, that's okay. I need to be a mother. So everything that we tried back then, it was between 6 months to a year that you had to try it. So during that time I'd go in and take these, to me, the needles were like that big and that long, but they probably weren't. So I would go into the fertility doctor, and again, I'd see all the baby pictures and get kind of frustrated, like, ugh. And then they'd say, okay, get ready, Miss Ward, here we come. And then they'd give me the shot, and that thing hurt. So I'd go get that right back here. I'd go in at least once a month. So they told me to try that for 6 months. And so we tried that 6 months to a year again. And then that didn't work. And so the next thing that we did is, in the meantime, I'd gone to a doctor, and he had told me, he ran a test on me, and he had told me that somehow I think I had some endometriosis, and my fallopian tubes were not correct because of the endometriosis. And so the insurance, thank goodness, required us to have a second opinion. So I go get the second opinion, and they said, well, we'll take you to Texas Women's, and we'll go by what the doctor said, that you'd have to have surgery where they go in there and they clean your fallopian tubes, and then they reattach them. And I was like, okay, and it's major surgery. I was like, that's fine. So I had taken off work, and we had packed for me to stay there 3 or 4 days at the hospital. So my husband comes with me in the hospital room, and they said, okay, we're ready for you. So I kissed him, and I was scared and crying. And he's like, Gail, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure. I want to have a baby. So they rolled me into the operating room. And I'm sure things are different now, but this was like a lot of years ago, about 30 years ago. And so they rolled me into the operating room. And of course, I didn't know what was happening. I come out, and they roll me into a different room, and I wake up, and I said, oh gosh. And I said, I don't feel anything. It doesn't, nothing hurts, because they said the incision would be a little bit big and painful. And I said, well, it doesn't hurt me, nothing does. And so the doctor came in there, and he says, you know what? He said, we didn't find any of that to be true. I said, what do you mean? I said, I've already packed for like 4 days to be here. They said, no, none of that stuff was true. We looked at you, and everything is fine with you. Your fallopian tubes, your ovaries, everything is fine. And I said, what'd y'all do? He said, we didn't do anything. You get to go home. I was like, okay, I guess I'll go back to school the next day. So I continued to take the shots to almost a year, still not getting pregnant. And the next thing they said, we're going to run some tests on your husband. I said, that's fine. So I had to talk to him, and I had to convince him still that I wanted to be a mother. So we're going on like 4 or 5 years now. So they run a test on him, and they said probably the best bet would be to do surgery on him. And I can't remember exactly what the name of the surgery was, but it was to increase the sperm count. I said, that's fine, and he agreed to it. And they said, well, this also can be major surgery. I was like, that's fine, he's going to do it. So we go to the hospital, and of course his pain tolerance is like way, way up there. He had 2 huge incisions, like on the side over here. And it was outpatient surgery, so I rolled him back. He's like, oh my gosh, Gail, he said, I can't believe this. And of course I felt bad, and I cried and cried, and I felt bad I'd not put him through all that. So we're starting year number 5. And then with this surgery, I still didn't get pregnant. They'd stopped the shots. And so then we didn't get pregnant. In the meantime, through that 5 years, I can't remember when it happened, there was, of course, my cycle was like exactly 28 days. So one time, it was when I was teaching at Atkinson, It had been 32 days, and so I knew I was pregnant. I was just so excited. And I thought, oh my gosh, I need to start planning a baby shower. I need to go to the doctor because I knew that I was pregnant. And so me and the lady I worked with, we were so happy. And she's like, don't tell anybody yet. Let's surprise people. I said, okay. So I said, let's just wait a couple more days. And oh man, I woke up that morning and I'd started. And I was like, golly. I was so depressed for like a week after that. And within those 3 or 4 years that happened. So at the end of this part, it was like 1 year of grafting, 1 year of the shots. 1 year my husband was tested and had surgery. And then another year we ended up just going back to the fertility doctor trying to see what else they could do. So the next part of my journey is where they had one more option. Of course, going through all this, I was totally depressed, and there was times that I laid on my couch. I didn't even want to live. I was just laying there and just cried and cried and cried. I couldn't stand Mother's Day. I was like, oh, I don't want to see anybody with babies. I didn't go to baby showers, nothing. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you is about the next phase, about what we did since we couldn't have kids together. So again, thank you for tuning in. I really hope that you share my YouTube channel with somebody. And it's Gail's Journey, GAIL' Journey. And email me at gailsjourney101@gmail.com. Thank you so much.